How's it going, folks? CR here. How's it going, Jinks, man? I meant to get back to you earlier this week. However, my shortest work day was 11 hours. So, needless to say, I had a pretty busy week and didn't really have the chance to get back with you on this. I do want you to know, though, I do like your idea. For those of you who don't know, Jinx put out a video detailing an idea to fund neurological research into mass killers to find out what makes them tick, what parts of their brain are defective, and to try to find a treatment for this. And I'll put the link to the video in the description. Also, he brings up a TED Talk from a guy named Dan Dennett on intrinsic inversion. Guys, I suggest that too. I've got the link to his video in the description, which will have the link to the TED Talk and his video's description. So you want to see that, you can go on, watch his video, then go watch Dan's video as well. I think they're definitely worth viewing. Jinx, I do actually like your idea on the research, and while I did say that the sample size is real small, that is a factor that's going to present a challenge. I do agree with you, however, that we do need to start somewhere. I do think, though, that we need to recognize. I do think we need to recognize the challenges, so the factors that are going to present a challenge. It might throw off the data and possibly come up with some mitigating factors to it as well. Would be my suggestion to it. I do want to start off with a small sample size. It is going to be hard to work with such a small sample and any sort of legitimate research, but I think one of the ways that they could try to mitigate for that is if they use several different methods of research and they collect as much raw data as possible and try to peer review this as much as possible. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it'll be a great start. Another issue, it's kind of tied to the small sample size, but even more of a factor is the sample size we're going to have is going to be over the mass killers that don't have that death wish. They're still dangerous, but they're not the really dangerous ones that I think we really need to do the most research in. The ones we're going to get are the ones like the Parkland mass killer, the Norwegian mass killer, and mass killers like that who turn themselves over to the police, the moment the police showed up. I don't think the ones that have expect to go in there dying or don't care if they die or not, I don't think we're going to get too many of them, and it's because it's just so damn difficult and dangerous to take them alive. It's probably the most dangerous type of person you can deal with, is one that's willing to kill a bunch of other people and doesn't really care if they die or not, unfortunately. And I think a way we can mitigate that is by interviewing their friends and family, or having the researchers interview their friends and family, go through their journals or social media posts, any manifestos, things like that of that nature. And I know it's not perfect, but I think it may possibly bring up some food for thought in the research, and could only serve to help. Another one that's going to present a challenge is the funding, and this is kind of a twofold issue right here. The first being is that a lot of the gun rights advocacy groups don't have near the funding as some would make them out to have. So it's going to be pretty hard to draw even a modest amount of funding from them. So I think it's possible. And the other situation with this, the other factor on this one, is that if the research yields something that certain special interest groups don't like, they're going to revert to their standard, oh, well, this is just NRA propaganda. And worst yet is if a medical company is funding this as well as gun rights advocacy groups, then you're going to have the whole conspiracy theories of the NRA and Big Pharma teaming up to make money with their bought and paid for research. And yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I know that special interest group way too well. So yeah, I can see that coming from there. So what I suggest as a mitigating factor is that we have more than just gun rights advocates and the medical industry fund this. I think that some of the people, at least some of them, who claim that they never want to see another mass killing happen again, so much so that we have to do something about it now, if they were to put their money where their mouth is and chip in for some of this too, I think that could only serve to help out and serve to take away the perception of politics in this. So I would like to see that happen as well, and we get more funding for this idea, which is a good thing, which is something that's going to be needed, I believe, in this research. And while we're on this topic of politics, I do think the research probably does need to be highly peer-reviewed, and I think that the methodology and the raw data within the bounds of HIPAA laws does need to be public, open, so that way everyone can see it, and I think that'll help mitigate the whole political poisoning of the well, so to speak, on this one. Because I think it would be a major shame that if this research was to yield some really good results and we were to find out a lot of useful and applicable information, it would be a shame to see it just be ignored or disregarded just because a loud enough group demanded so because of politics or the perceived how do I put this, the perceived politics in it. So this does need to be as apolitical and solution driven as possible. Anyway, it's just food for thought on my end of this, and I actually really do like the idea. Alright, man, you take her easy out there. Have a great day. Y'all, thanks for watching.